Now it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great. Just not cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, we are ready. We are the heavyweight champs of marijuana legalization. Welcome to the show. It's Toker Talk Radio. Brian the Red had to step away because we're getting stuff here. Stuff is being shipped here to Rolla J Studios. Earlier, we received our shipment from Handmade Apparel at handmadeapparel.biz. And they are our new shirts. So we're going to do some show and tell on that. Let's see. You got the shirts over there? Just one is fine. Is that an XL? Mm-hmm. Fantastic. That's mine then. All right. So we have our new Handmade Apparel shirts. Now, you remember when we were with Normal Show Live, we made some Normal Show Live shirts like this. Although these are, is it the same material? It feels a little more cottony. It feels like it's a blend.
Different.
Yeah. Very nice. I can't read because I'm blind.
The other ones were jerseys
But there you go. 420 Radio polo shirts with a little 420 Radio in gold lettering. Very sleek. We'll be wearing those on Saturday. At least I'll be wearing it on Saturday. You guys will be wearing them both days. Sunday I have to wear my pimp suit. I got my pimp suit tailored, by the way, so it doesn't look like I'm wearing hammer pants anymore. Very nice. I bought this suit, this pinstripe suit. I don't know who. It must have been Chris Christie's before me, because it was big on me, and I'm like not small. Maybe it's Sabet's suit. I don't know. So yeah, and we got the Handmade Apparel shirts. Also, he sent us stickers. We got a bunch of stickers: Bora Farm, Oil Slick, Handmade, and the Handmade spinner pin is pretty damn sweet. That's pretty cool. We're loving the spinner pin. Thank you so much for that. And we'll get some more pins when we see Handmade. Now, UPS just showed up. Brian's back down here in the studio. Let me switch to a cam. Which cam am I going to use here, Bri? Cam 3? Okay. That'll do.
Bring me 3.
4, 3, whatever it is. There you go. All right, so Brian the Red's got our newest, which is from Lush LED Lighting. That's the Vegetator 2X LED light. Raise it up just a bit. There you go. So we got a Vegetator 2X, and it's got its fans on the back and everything.
Oh, and you can track the lifespan. Here's the hours of operation, hours used, end date, start date.
Very nice.
And some pretty solid little connections to hang it from.
All right, so that's the first one.
Larry's gonna like that one.
That's first. Are the others here too?
Oh yeah, they're upstairs.
Oh, the others are upstairs.
Big boxes.
Big boxes.
Big boxes.
They're big.
All right, we'll show those off a little bit later.
This thing's heavy.
Great. Yeah, so we got the Lush LED lighting. Also, I want to mention, I want to get to some questions. So I saw some people talking in the chat room here, and I wanted to answer some of the questions. Hi in Hawaii asks, why did Normal take your writings down? Did you ask them? No, I did not. For those of you who don't know, before I did this show, I did a show called Normal Show Live, which before that was called the Normal Daily Audio Stash. I worked for Normal from 2008 to 2012, middle of 2012, about 4.5 years. Wrote about 6,000 posts, and they were all hosted on a subdomain called stash.normal.org. Well, last week I discovered that stash.normal.org no longer exists. It's not on the web anymore. It redirects to the Normal blog, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing new going up on stash.normal.org, but it would have been nice to have a warning. It would have been nice to have known that 4.5 years of my work was going to be taken off the internet. So fortunately, I had a backup. Unfortunately, the backup was in HTML format and has required multiple steps for me to get the export and the import and the fix and the re-import and the export and the re-import. But it's happening. I have uploaded about 1/5 of my old posts so far up on RadicalRuss.com. By the end of tonight, the rest will be up. And I also uploaded all my posts from my blog before I started working for Normal. So by the end of tomorrow, you should be able to go to RadicalRuss.com and find everything I have written from 2003 to 2011. So I'll have 11 years worth of writing up on the site by the end of the next couple of days. Get all those imports done. So yeah, they didn't, I didn't ask them to take it down. They didn't tell me they were taking it down. They just took it down. The other question that was in the chat room, let's see, that I had to get to, where was it? Gosh, there was something else that was being asked. I forgot what it was. Somebody had a question in there, but we'll get there. We'll take your questions here in the chat room, or you can call in live at 971-533-7111. Regarding my rant, had someone in the chat room said, I don't think it can happen this time because the internet exists. I think you're right. I agree. I got to tell you, my rant in the last hour was one of those, like, 1 in a million blue moon. Oh my God, it could happen maybe. Yeah. Kind of like an asteroid could hit the Earth and wipe us all out.
It's a Nostradamus prophecy.
There you go. I don't know that it's gonna happen, and it's kind of far-fetched. And I really do think that there's factors now that exist that we didn't have in 1978. For one, we have the history of 1978, right? We have the public knowledge of, well, there used to be a lot more marijuana smoking, and the world didn't end. Right? We got the public knowledge of what it was like when we went super prohibition. We got the public knowledge of 40 years of a failed drug war, whereas in 1978, it was 8 years of a failed drug war, right? We got the internet, we got Facebook, and we got celebrities, and we got 2 legal states and people and celebrities that are smoking pot and promoting pot. I mean, I think it is still inevitable, but it's up to me to warn you guys. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Cast your eyes up to the skies. What is it to live and die?
I'm Radical Russ Belville, and I want to thank you for listening to 420 Radio. We couldn't survive without you and our sponsors, and I'd like you to check out one of our prime sponsors, the National Cannabis Coalition. I've been working with NCC since June of 2012, and I'm proud to be part of the team they have assembled. National Cannabis Coalition is building the partnerships with reformers, lawmakers, and industry we need to be successful. Visit the National Cannabis Coalition website at nationalcannabiscoalition.com or the easier-to-remember ncc420.com. That's where you'll get the exclusive first look at my radical rants, as well as informative articles from the nation's top cannabis pundits. Visit ncc420.com today, and if you have your phone handy, text Russ to 420-420 to support NCC and 420 Radio. It's a free text message that helps us help you end adult marijuana prohibition. Learn more at ncc420.com, and thanks for supporting independent marijuana legalization public radio. 420 Radio, freeing your mind 24 hours a day. The law offices of Omar Figueroa would like to remind you to stand up for your rights. Please do not give up your precious liberties. There's nothing wrong with standing up for our constitutional rights, and in fact, it's the best way to honor the Constitution that recognizes our natural rights. Treat law enforcement with respect and respect the Constitution by standing up for your rights. If you are detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search and seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to speak with my attorney, Omar Figueroa. Omar Figueroa has more than a decade of experience in federal and California courts and graduated from Yale University, Stanford Law School, and Trial Lawyers College.
please contact the law offices of Omar Figueroa at 415-489-0420 or 707-829-0215 or on the web at omarfigueroa.com.
Oh, yeah, music from across the sun. That's in the face of adversity. Welcome back. It's Toker Talk Radio. I'm Radical Russ. We're hanging out here in Rolla J Studios. We're getting all sorts of shipments today. We got LED lights. We got, that cam. Okay, let's go to that cam. That'd be cam 6, I believe. So there's Brian with the crate. And the Lush LED. Well, that's the Dominator 2XXL.
Oh, damn, this is heavy.
It came in a crate, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's freaking crated up, buddy. Look at there.
Big thanks to Matt and Lush LED Lighting for their sponsorship of 420 Radio. We really appreciate it. And this will help us grow some really nice plants.
Ooh, yeah.
We had someone in the chat room says, Aftershock says, you should send me one of those lights for... Thank you for all my years of listening. For being a faithful viewer, that's it. Yeah, I know. Aftershock's like, I want one. Yeah, I know. We wanted ones too. So there's that. There's the 2XXL, and then there's another XL that I think is smaller than the one we just saw. But the one we just showed you, the big one, is for flowering. And then the Vegetator, the first one we showed you, was the one for vegetation, of course. And it's like $4,500 worth of lights, folks. It's 3 lights. That's it. 3 lights, $4,500 worth. Is this the other Vegetator? Or is that the Dominator?
This is the other Dominator.
Dominator 2X. Okay, there you go.
We only got one Vegetator.
And there's the Dominator 2X. Bam. There we go. Yeah. Lush LED lighting. So we're going to use these and grow us some nice plants. And I don't know. Maybe someday they will be auctioned off, but not soon.
Not soon.
Not soon. We are going to use that. How many plants is it for? Do you have any idea? Don't know.
I would say that one of these can probably do 2 just fine.
Yeah. We're thinking the Dominator 2XXL might handle 4 plants.
Yeah. We're going to throw all the Dominators out.
Yeah, they're kind of directional. Tyco's saying they're directional. You can get like 2 max on that thing, like 3 to 4. It's the thing. It's for a small grow. You're not going to grow like industrial, unless you get a bank of those things, right? But that's really all we're interested in here. We're dealing with Oregon, and with Oregon law here, we can have 6 mature plants. So, I think we're going to be able to cover it with those. We will find out how it turns out. But the LED lighting thing is all new to me. And if you've been listening to the show for any length of time, you know that as much as I know about marijuana policy, I know dick about marijuana plants. I don't know a thing about horticulture, growing strains, any of that stuff. So I'm just looking forward to see how those LEDs turn out. What do you think? I mean, they're looking pretty good, don't you think?
I think that they look pretty solid. It's some of the newer LED technology, it appears to be, at least. So, we're it's not just strings of those dollar store lights.
Yeah, really. And we got Left Wing Larry in the studio as well, getting ready to head out to Colorado. We'll be road tripping out there. It's going to be a good time. So you got does it have any specs there we need to tell people about?
That would probably be in the literature that I already sent up with Larry.
Okay, that's fine. We won't worry about that. But, so we got that. We've got these new shirts. And then I went and got, and we're picking it up tomorrow. I'll show you folks on the chat room because I think, you guys have been supporting us for so long. You guys are the reason why we're able to do all these things and go to these places and fly to these events and bring you this coverage.
Road trip.
So we'd like to show you what your money is buying. And so I just recently purchased what's called a PV Messenger portable PA system. It is the bomb. It is something, and it's specifically made for, basically for corporate presenters to take. And it was made with the idea of being the size of a carry-on, right? So exactly what I am looking for as a frequent flyer. And I've used PV equipment for a long time as a bass player. Played PV basses and PV amps, and they're built like tanks.
Uh-huh.
You can drop them out of the back of a pickup, and they'll still run.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I know that. But anyway, there it is. It's like a briefcase. You see that thing that she's holding? That's the whole PA system. The 2 speakers are on the sides there, and then the middle part is like the soundboard that opens up. And there's another shot here I can show you that'll show you what it looks like on the inside. See, there's the speaker that kind of comes off the side, and it fits in those little slots kind of on the side there, and it'll fit carry-on on a plane. So that's exactly what I've been needing.
It's got little stands for the speakers too.
It doesn't come with the stands,
Oh.
but you can get the stands. Yeah, they have stands for it, but that's kind of what it looks like. You can see on the top there what it looks like folded out. That is going to be so perfect for our little 8-foot tables that we have at a 10-foot booth. Right, little speaker on each side. Oh, and that the case props up so that the side of it that faces the audience is like a lectern, right? So you can put cards or flyers or whatever you want on the front of that. So we're pretty excited about getting that. That's going to be very, very helpful for us here as we do these live presentations. Also, got a badass PowerPoint clicker. Do you see my PowerPoint clicker?
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Badass PowerPoint clicker. And we've got new stickers. In addition to the existing Russ Belville Show and 420 Radio 3-inch by 2-inch stickers, we now have Herb Thrasher and Red Eyes Reggae Flashback stickers. And the Red Eye Flashback stickers will haunt your nightmares.
That's according to me, anyway.
Don't worry, it's a short run.
It's it'll be fun to see where they end up.
That's right.
Yeah. If you stick it someplace random, take a picture, send it to us.
And we have a new poster available as well. 12-inch, or I should say 18-inch by 12-inch. Right? It's landscape, and it's my American flag presidential quotes poster.
Oh yeah.
Like legitimate, verifiable quotes from U.S. presidents about marijuana. One for each stripe on the flag. And then 50 pot leaves for the stars. You can get this poster in 2 formats. You can get it online at 420radio.org/shop. You can get the download version. Just download the PDF yourself and print it yourself. Or you can get the printed out version on high bond glossy paper that we will mail to you. They are on sale for the rest of this month. So you can get, I think, the download for $4.20 and the poster for $9.99. And those prices will go up in May. What's that?
The second page of the invoice, last line before the copyright information. Lush lighting products are not to be used for the cultivation of any illegal plants.
That's right. We're not going to cultivate any illegal plants.
Nope, we're legal here.
All the plants we cultivate will be legal. Absolutely.
Yes, we will not be bringing these lights with us through Idaho.
That's right.
Do
That's
not
right.
worry.
So we got new cards, new stickers. We will also be ordering magnets. If you want to get 420 Radio magnet, little fridge magnet sticker kind of things, we'll have those available for you. And plenty more. That's another thing that we're going to be spending a lot of resource on this year, is making more stuff, more cool pins. We're going to have a set of pins that we're going to put out. I was going to have pins for 420. I just didn't get them done in time. But we will have them for Seattle Hemp Fest. We'll have a whole new set. We'll have Red Eyes Reggae Flashback pins and Herb Thrasher pins and so on, because I know the pin thing is very big with people right now. So make sure you check us out. We're doing 420 road trip this week on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll bring you live shows from the road using our T-Mobile mobile lab, whatever the hell we're going to call it. That should be an adventure. And then starting on Friday, our coverage of the High Times Cannabis Cup. And I'm telling you, this is the season is getting really busy. This weekend I've got Cannabis Cup. Next weekend off. The weekend after that is the Global Cannabis March. The weekend after that is Patients Out of Time Conference here in Portland. The weekend after that is the Florida Business Conference I'm headed to, the 17th. Weekend after that, I've got off. Weekend after that is Aspen Legal Seminar, and the weekend after that is the Texas Normal Conference. So we will be bringing you coverage from Portland, from Dallas-Fort Worth, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and everywhere in between as we begin the big festival season. Things are growing really fast with 420 Radio, and we thank you for being a part of it, getting in on the ground floor. And I know 2014 is going to be a big year for us. Lots of expansion, lot more opportunities, lot more investors. and now it's 4:20. Although, as I'm looking at my watch, I think it's closer to 7:10. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take your call, we'll hang out, we'll have some fun. Stick around, it's Toker Talk Radio.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
Cannabis Outreach Collective is an alternative health and wellness option located in Gladstone, Oregon, that serves patients in the Portland area and beyond. We are a full-service alternative health and wellness collective accommodating patients with natural, organic, holistic, and homeopathic remedies, nutritional guidance, advice, education, and medical cannabis, fully in accordance with Oregon OMMP law. You can find out more about Cannabis Outreach Collective on Facebook at COC503 or by emailing cannabisoutreachcollective503@gmail.com or by telephone at 503-853-1319. Check out our menu on Weed Maps and visit Cannabis Outreach Collective today. Adam Hand of Handmade Apparel produces quality custom designs for t-shirts, hats, and other apparel. Handmade Apparel is the official design shop for 420 Radio, The Russ Belville Show, Ganja John, and Cascadia Concentrates, among many clients who rely on Adam Hand for everything from short-run custom projects to full-run clothing lines. Adam's meticulous designs are individually crafted and screened in vibrant high-definition color. Visit handmadeapparel.biz to browse the selection of handmade gear or to get a personal quote for your own designs. Handmade Apparel, a proud supporter of 420radio.org.
Let him bring in the beat.
Electric Bob's Boogaloo, starring Electric Bob from Arizona, Tuesdays at 7 a.m. Pacific on 420radio.org.
I got the court, and everybody's looking at me.
Music by West Day, that's Pot in the Closet. Welcome back to Toker Talk Radio, and let me just remind you why we're here. The whole point of 420radio.org was to provide a voice for the Marijuana Nation. I know when we say the voice of the Marijuana Nation, people think I'm talking about me. But no, we're talking about us. We're talking about us all having a place where we can get together, a place where we can, expand and be able to communicate with one another and communicate to the world. And so part of why I formed 420 Radio was basically when I was back doing Normal Show Live, I wanted to form the Normal Network so that all the normal chapters out there wouldn't have to figure out how to do podcasting, buy a bunch of computers, have an expert on staff and all that. They could just have people that would call in and talk. We would record it and play it. Well, it never worked out with the normal situation, but I still have that goal. I still want to provide this feature, this service to the activist community out there for people to be able to get all their information out, because there's these great conferences and great things going on that the activists in the local area know about, but nobody else does. So in that vein, we're going to talk right now about something that went on here in Portland, and our own Brian the Red went out to this, and he can tell you more about it than I can.
Yeah, well, I like going out to these events that are kind of on the outer edge of the marijuana movement. The people that attended this one were, besides the people who funded it, were mostly just patients or advocates, friends of people who had multiple sclerosis and just had, no real knowledge about the medical aspects of cannabis in regards to that illness. So we had lots of people that, I'll just read a list real quick of the people who put it on. It was the Multiple Sclerosis Society of Portland that put it on, and with the sponsors of Cosgrave Vergeer Kester LLP, National Cannabis Coalition, OG Analytical, Eco Firma Farms, OMMC Clinic LLC, which I think is just right up the street. But Oregon Optimal Health, New Economy Consulting, which is Todd Delato, and they're good people. And Rosebud Wellness Center, Roseland Theater. Oh, did not see that on there, even though it's not called the Roseland anymore. But oh, no, sorry, that is the Roseland. That's where we had the event. I was thinking of a different place. But yeah, big thanks to the Roseland Theater downtown Portland that let us put on the event in their lower bar area. Stage Vapor Company and Eudoxy Scientific Liquid Amber Extracts. So, I had a chance to sit in the back. I got there right after the beginning of it, and, I got a little bit of footage and some audio, and we'll be bringing you some of what Jesse Peters from Eco Firma Farms had to say about different strains and cannabinoid profiles, and how there really hasn't been enough testing done, and how we need to expand our knowledge in that area. I got to sit in the back with a multiple sclerosis patient who actually, this young man had traveled to India and had stem cell treatments done that were not as effective as cannabis has been. So we may have him on a later segment, but right now we're going to hear from Jesse from Eco Firma Farms. Enjoy.
It takes years to lock down exactly all the good little traits out of that plant. So the first time you do it, all of those seeds, they have tiny differences between all of them. Some vast, some small. Thus, if I have a good phenotype of one strain, someone else has another phenotype of that strain, you can see where there's going to be differences. Now, the point of this mixing together and the point of these phenotypes and why I talk about them is it all boils down to one thing. At some point in time, someone mixed together the right combination of strains to create phenotypes that had high CBD. Now, back in the 60s, high CBD wasn't what anyone was looking for because it didn't give you the psychoactive effect that everybody was looking at. What we found recently is that high CBD strains give you quite a therapeutic effect. They actually counteract some of the THC, but I'll get off into the weeds on that if you let me go for too long. Right. The key here lies with the patient knowing what to look for and what to treat for their own individual symptoms. Spasticity, seizures, tremors, peripheral neuropathy. This is where CBD steps in. Now, one thing to know about CBD is its connection not only with THC, but with its full terpene and cannabinoid profile. Now let's touch on those for just a second. Slide, please. So this strain here, this is the white. As you can see from this slide, it's a high THC strain. Now, just a little history before I get too far off into the slides. Eco Firma Farms uses Sunrise Analytical for all of our testing, and we have for years. Thus, we have years of data that we've collected on each of these strains with all of these terpene and cannabinoid profiles so that we can really hone our craft, so to speak, by producing them over and over again. But more to the point, seeing the pattern of consistency and being able to lock down our techniques through years of objective data in an industry where subjective data is really all we've had for so long. We use Sunrise Analytical not only because of their credentials, but also their ethics. Sunrise has gone above and beyond with the standards that they hold themselves to, and Eco Firma Farms chooses to live up to those same high standards. This is why we still choose to do full cannabinoid and full terpene profile tests on all of our products and make these test results available to all of the patients every time, rather than just the minimum requirements that have been set forth by House Bill 3460, which only required THC, CBD, and CBN. So back to the white. So this is a high CBD strain, or high THC strain. You can see up here, it references 27%, a little greater than 27% on the THC. Slide, please. So this is a terpene and a cannabinoid profile. So all of these on the left are what essentially give the plant a smell, and all of these on your guys' right are what originally were believed to be all the effects, the cannabinoids. And this is where you're finding things like CBD, THC, and obviously look at that, a whole mess of other things. all of these play a fact in the way they affect you. But one of the things that we're starting to realize is, you see that big yellow spike there? That beta-myrene is what it's called. This is a terpene, which used to be believed that terpenes, and still in some circles, terpenes have no effect on you as far as psychoactivity. We're not finding that to be the case. Anytime you find a strain that has that spike, it's got a very unique scent. Anybody who's experienced the white will know this when they smell it. It's a very unique, very potent scent. However, it seems to mix with THC and do some very unique things. So, slide please. So this is Afghani number 1. So this is kind of like the mother or father of about 75% of the strains that you'll see out there on the shelf. When you start looking into lineage, you'll see, part Afghani, part this, part Afghani, part that. If you delve in, you'll find it in a lot of strains. There's that beta-myrene again. However, there isn't much of anything else. There's some CBG in there, which is that big spike in the cannabinoid profile, but in comparison to a lot of the testing that we've done over time, this is a really flat graph. And if you inhale and ingest it's exceptionally potent, which kind of goes to show that there's something about this beta-myrene crossing with this THC that has a large effect on patients. And obviously, back before this data existed, somebody chose to mix this strain with almost everything we see out there now for a reason. Thus, bringing me back to these terpenes play a role in how they affect us. And thus, as a patient, it's something that you definitely want to look for this whole profile, because in a CBD, THC, CBN, the basic numbers of House Bill 3460, you're not going to see any of that. All you're going to see is that 19% and a couple other small peaks. Slide, please. This leads me on to high CBD strains. So the Maui Bubble Gift is a high CBD strain that Ecopharma Farms produces, or at least one of them. It's known as a 2-to-1. So you've all, I'm sure, heard of Charlotte's Web, which is known as a 20-to-1. So you got about 20 parts of CBD to 1 part of THC, whereas this has a little better than 2 parts of CBD to 1 part of THC. We're finding that there's a vast difference in the way this affects patients. And the thing to know about THC, as I had said, or CBD, as I had said earlier with THC, is CBD is actually counteracted to THC. So when you see 8 or 9% THC, when you get that higher CBD number, it's actually kind of knocking that psychoactive effect of THC that we all associate it with down a couple of pegs, thus completely changing the therapeutic use or dosage, so to speak, with something like the Maui Bubble Gift. Slide, please. Now you can see that CBD spike, right? And you get to see this huge terpene profile where you've got all these small spikes in here that are all playing their own little roles. And then you get over here to the right to the cannabinoid profiles and you see this massive CBD spike. Now, the THC spike isn't on any of these slides, and it's because predominantly when you see THC on a graph like this, it's going to be up off the chart. In this, it would actually fit because it would sit lower. It's hard to read from here, but as you get further into them, you also start to realize that there isn't just THC. There's THC, there's Delta-8 THC. We found a new, I don't even know what to call it other than like a Charlie 4 THC. Slowly but surely over this testing and over this time, we're finding all these different THC, CBD mixtures. And they're all having their own effects. This high CBD strain seems to be, or at least this Maui Bubble Gift in a 2-to-1, seems to be doing exceptionally well at treating patients with things like tremors and spasticity. We have a patient who will convert this product into a concentrate, and you can consume it orally. We even flavor it so that that oral treatment is a little easier to take, and you take it in very small doses. This was an MS patient who, we gave it to him before the weekend. I talked to him at the end of the weekend and said, how did it work for you? And his biggest complaint was he was incredibly sore from all the muscles he had used that he had forgotten he could even use. His wife thought he had gone crazy. He was jumping around the house, bringing his knees to his chest. I mean, it was a great story. It was incredible to hear. And of course, leads me to, and led all of us to, wanting to share this information to be able to get all of this out there. Of course, you can consume the flower. You can also consume the concentrates that are produced through Eudoxy Scientific or through Sunrise Analytical that we put out there that are all obviously tested to the newest standards. We're also working with these to create unactivated concentrates. So you get to these 2-to-1s that still have a psychoactive effect. Well, we're starting to create stuff that still has all that THC, but if it's consumed orally, it has no psychoactive effect. Thus, moving on to THC strains. We produce a THC strain that we brought out of Amsterdam that it's stopping seizures. We cannot figure out why. We're working with the labs to figure out why, but to be able to produce that in an unactivated oil that you can now feed to a child because it has no psychoactive effect but still get that therapeutic effect, you can see where the benefit of that would be for so many people. The main thing to think about all of this here is all the treatment that we can give to patients. So you've got Parkinson's patients that we treat that have tremors with high CBD strains. We've got cancer patients that are starting to find that a buildup of CBD in their bloodstream is shrinking or completely dissipating tumors. One of the things that we want to do at EcoPharma Farms, or we believe in, is providing customer service and the best customer service that we can to the patient. In a world where customer service seems to have completely been forgotten, especially in the pharmaceutical industry, in an industry where, like this one, there's so much negative connotation, so much stigma. All of this surrounded by years and years of prohibition that we're going to have to work through regardless of where this industry goes. Our mission at EcoPharma Farms is that we're attempting to turn a light on in what's been a dark room for a very long time. We want to help lift the veil of what's been an underground industry for so long and help connect patients that maybe have never used cannabis with the right products that treat the right symptoms for them. Slide, please. Because one thing we have definitely learned through all these years of testing is that, and essentially all this testing has been human trials, right? There's a vast difference between choosing the right treatment path for a patient with MS and the right treatment path for somebody with, say, PTSD. Knowing what you're getting is the key there. And the days of asking a 21-year-old stoner behind the counter, what's good, are definitely coming to an end. So even if we have to pick up the phone and call, so even if I have to pick up the phone and talk to the 60,000 plus cardholders one by one in the state of Oregon, we will shed light on this subject. Hopefully I can get a deal on some bulk lozenges if that's the case. But, I want to definitely thank everyone for coming out. We've got great speakers here that also have a lot of information to share, and if anybody has any questions afterwards, I'll be around for a while to answer any questions right outside of our booth. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, some great stuff there from Jesse from EcoPharma Farms. I'm not sure of any contact information for them right now, but definitely, if you can go to events like I just did, get a little footage or some audio, a couple still shots, send it in.
We'll play it.
You know, because we need to get these stories out. That's the voice of the Marijuana Nation.
You got it, man. Thanks to the Multiple Sclerosis Society of Portland for letting us get that as well. We'll be right back. Stick around.
You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the Marijuana Nation.
Marijuana, do you wanna? Mary, do you wanna tonight?
As marijuana goes mainstream, you need to be armed with the facts. Nobody can teach you better than Dr. Mitch Earlywine, Ph.D. You may know Dr. Mitch from his column in High Times magazine or his weekly appearance on the Russ Belville Show. Dr. Mitch is also the author of some of the best books on marijuana science, culture, history, and health, including Understanding Marijuana, Parents' Guide to Marijuana, pot politics, and more. Visit Amazon.com and search for Mitch Earleywine, that's EARLEYWINE, and order your books today. You can also contact Dr. Mitch by email at 420research@gmail.com.
Support the Russ Belville Show. Text the word Russ to 420-420 and connect with the National Cannabis Coalition. You can also send $10 to the Russ Belville Show right from your smartphone. That's Russ to 420-420. You're listening to Radical Russ on the Russ Belville Show.
.420 Radio, your ticket to Seattle Hemp Fest.
On an all-new intervention.
Mark, welcome home. Please come, join us.
Mark hasn't smoked weed in about 10 days, and I'm worried about him. I can't watch him destroy himself.
I'm fine, okay? This is none of your business.
Shh. Come, Mark. We're only here because we care.
I'm in control. That's what they don't get, is that I can start smoking weed anytime that I want to. I just don't feel like it right now.
At first he was, just skipping a day here and there. But then it got more and more consistent, and then he just wasn't smoking any weed at all.
Mark, we haven't smoked a joint together in like 3 weeks, man. I don't know who you are anymore. Your short-term memory is incredible. I just can't sit back and watch someone destroy their own lives with horrible decisions.
See you guys. Stupid, I'm getting out of here.
Hey,
don't touch me!
It hurts me a lot, What do you do for someone that you care about that is ruining their own life? What do you do?
He's not showing any signs of starting.
Intervention on A&E.
Produced and distributed by the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws in Washington, D.C. This is your normal daily audio stash, the growing truth about cannabis. Welcome to the most popular podcast regarding marijuana in all of America and all the world. Featuring interviews with scientists, politicians, doctors, prohibition policy activists, regular cannabis consumers, musicians, and NORML's staff and NORML's board of directors, along with music and comedy no other podcast can offer. You can always find out more about the show at our website, stash.normal.org, and continue the education and conversation on our blog as well. We're ending marijuana prohibition with education, one listener at a time. The podcasting and blogging technology for the normal daily audio stash is provided by Red Aphid Interactive Media. Visit www.redaphid.com. It's Monday, February 11th at 4:20 p.m., and I'm your host, Radical Russ Belville. Thank you for having me here on the Normal Daily Audio Stash. This is my first stash as the new official host. So,
the fuck is this guy?
Glad to be here, and thanks
Man,
to
this guy
everyone
sounds like
at
a
the National
rip-off.
Board of Normal for inviting me to be the voice.
Yes, that was
of the
Bacon
best
Dan's
drug
reaction
reform
when he first heard this.
organization
This was from February 11th, 2008. It's my first Normal Daily Audio Stash. Actually, there was one before I guest hosted on January 31st, 2008, which was my 40th birthday.
Yeah.
And the day the Michael Phelps bong photo came out.
That's a cool anniversary there.
Yeah. I didn't even have to use my AK.
Yeah.
I guess I could say it was a good day. It was a great day.
But really, that was Dan's reaction because he listened back then.
Oh, yeah, he was a big Chris Goldstein fan.
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's like different intro, and he's like, where the fuck is Chris?
Who the fuck is this guy? Like, thanks, man.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm getting these old files uploaded to radicalrust.com. I even have some files before me. I think I may have all of the Normal Daily Audio Stash, because I don't know that it's archived anywhere else. So I've got them going back in the Chris Goldstein days to 2006. So we'll get those uploaded as well. I also found the contest audio that I did for the search for the next great progressive talk radio star, which is the whole reason I ever got into radio in the first place, is I won a damn contest.
Yeah. Which was for XM, right?
Yeah, the XM satellite, right? And I'll find out where I put those. Maybe we'll play some of that later on. it's like old nostalgia Monday for me here, trying to find all these old tunes and old files that I'd had before. But pretty amazing stuff. Let me see. I'll find that sucker. It's right in here, I'm sure. For those of you who don't know how I got here, I entered a talk radio contest. There used to be a progressive talk radio station here, AM 620 KPOJ. It was one of the biggest progressive talk radios in the nation, really. And they had this contest, which was the search for the next great progressive talk radio star. There was about 23 other stations across the country that were involved in this contest, and they all did the contest. And what it was you sent in a 2-minute tape, and from that 2-minute tape, we'd find out is basically your audition, right? And so I sent in a little 2-minute tape, and it ended up winning for Portland against all possible, thought. I just threw something together. I wasn't even half-assed thinking about what I was doing, really. I just threw it all together and ended up winning the damn thing. So that was kind of a shock to me. And by winning that, I had to go on to the rest of the contest, which I ended up winning. So it was very strange. And I had these files up just a second ago, and now I've got to find them again. But it was an amazing, amazing contest. I got to go to Washington, D.C. I got to meet people that are now in the Obama administration. Got to meet Big Ed Schultz. I ended up guest hosting for the Bill Press Show, which is a major liberal talk radio show out of Washington, D.C., which is on at 6 a.m, which meant I was going to the studio at 2 a.m. to be able to do those. So that was something else. Anyway, I'm still not finding what I was looking for, so I will find it later and stop dicking around, so to speak.
Bibble babble,
all that
flippy flap and
argle bargle.
The argle bargle and the flip flap.
That's right. So yeah, I entered this contest, and basically it was my wife nagging me to enter the contest at the time, and I did it just to stop her nagging me about the contest. I really didn't even think I'd win it or care or anything. So I turned in the audition. I won the Portland thing, and so they had the winners from the other 23 cities plus one internet winner. So there's 24 of us. And out of the 24, they picked the top 8, and I ended up in the top 8. The top 8 had to do live competition, where we each took a segment on the Bill Press Show, doing it for his live audience. Of those 8, they voted for the best 4, and I made it to the top 4. So the next week we had to do 2 segments each, and they have the top 4. They picked the top 2, and I ended up in the top 2. So me and a guy from Denver were the top 2, and we ended up.
Oh, what a coincidence!
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Wow, what a coincidence!
Me and a guy from Denver, we ended up flying out to Washington D.C., and the contest was we each had to do an hour each, like 3 segments each. And so we had to do 3 segments each in front of a live audience at the Center for American Progress. It was on C-SPAN 3, and they had 5 judges, 2 that were talk radio artist people, 2 that were talk radio salespeople, and 1 who was Ed Schultz, a.k.a. Big Ed, a.k.a. Ed Schultz on MSNBC guy, right? So in the contest, we did our 3 segments, and one of my segments I dedicated to the war on drugs, which everyone told me not to, and I did it anyway, because I was like, I'm not going to go this far and then not talk about the war on drugs. So did a segment on the war on drugs, and I ended up winning a 3-2 decision. The 2 salespeople hated me. The 2 salespeople were scared they wouldn't be able to sell me, which I guess in retrospect kind of turned out to be true. The artist people loved me. They thought I had a great voice and great, talk radio skills. And then Big Ed Schultz was my deciding vote. They came down to Big Ed to decide which one of us won. And he said, going forward from here, I believe it'd be Russ Belville. And what do you know? I won a show.
Ta-da! And that's how it happened, people.
Yeah. So I won a show, and I got to do the show. It was supposed to be a 1-year talk radio show. Now, the problem was the people who put the contest together didn't think to lock in all the stations to have to play the show of the winner of the contest. So none of them did. None of them played my show. They the only one that did was my local Portland station played my show, and I was on XM satellite. But I did get a significant base of callers, a good audience that I built up from all over the country, and did that show. It ended up lasting 20 months instead of just 12. So did something right. But then when XM and Sirius merged, I lost my job. That was on my 41st birthday.
What a hell of a year.
Yeah. My 40th birthday, I got the Michael Phelps bong photo and the normal podcast job. My 41st birthday, I lost my talk radio gig. It's like, well, you win some, you lose some, right?
One door closes, another opens.
That's right. And this one opened real nice. I didn't even know this was a job.
Well, you made it what it is, Russ.
We'll see. No, we made it what it is. The folks, the listeners, the audience that kept supporting me no matter where I went. Thank you so much. We're going to take a break. I'm going to find those clips, and we'll be right back.
The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at RadicalRuss.com.
Marijuana and alcohol are the 2 most popular recreational drugs in America. Marijuana smoking is non-toxic, relatively safe, and has a low risk of dependence. Alcohol drinking is potentially fatal, dangerous to society, and is quite addictive. Marijuana is safer, so why are we driving people to drink? That's the question of the new book, Marijuana is Safer, So Why Are We Driving People to Drink? By Paul Armentano, Mason Tvert, and Steve Fox. Visit Amazon.com or ChelseaGreen.com today to order your copy of Marijuana is Safer, or visit MarijuanaIsSafer.com.
I'm Radical Russ Belville reminding you that I am not some pot-smoking, latte-drinking, sushi-eating, New York Times-reading, Hollywood-loving, Volvo-driving liberal with a French last name. I drive a Jeep.
Drug Truth Network, Century of Lies, starring Dean Becker from Houston, Texas. Mondays at 7 a.m. Pacific on 420radio.org.
Are you or is someone you know a marijuana smoker? Have you or is someone in your family been arrested for a marijuana violation? You need to know the truth about pot. NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, is the most comprehensive source of information regarding marijuana and its effects on health, as well as legal issues. NORML even offers a database of lawyers specializing in cannabis in your area. NORML, the nation's largest and most successful marijuana law reform organization, has spent decades gathering the knowledge and science on everything related to cannabis. NORML is the best resource to find out the truth about marijuana, connect with a lawyer in your area, or help find an end to prohibition. Information is available at norml.org, that's NORML.org, or toll free at 888-67-NORML.
Hey yo, they're just puzzle pieces, you know what I'm saying? Check it out. Let me tell you about a problem I got up on the field during game time. Damn, it be hot. All I hear is the same line of jealousy plot laid out by motherfuckers who can't rest till the best get pissed off. Yeah, the game really like a chessboard. I didn't hear.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 56 after the hour. I found it. Here you go. This is my contest entry. This is my contest entry to become the next great progressive talk radio star from 2006.
It hurt to see the innocent fall to the dirt.
All right, we got 20 after here at the Radical Russ Show. I'm Radical Russ, your red state refugee, bringing you common sense liberalism for the masses. Because life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, well, they're non-negotiable as far as I'm concerned. It's what it means to be an American. All right, progressives, you know, it's autumn's in the air. The leaves are turning brown. We got an election coming up. There's a lot of problems in the world going on right now. So that means it's time for you and I and all us progressives to concentrate on the most important mission we have in our liberal agenda. Wait, what? The war on Christmas. You guys got this written right? The war on Christmas. We got a war in Iraq and a war in Afghanistan that have almost claimed as many American soldiers' lives as were lost on 9/11. We've got tens of thousands, 20,000 people coming home with severe injuries. You want me to worry about whether someone said happy holidays and that offended some Christian because, oh, God forbid that my holiday is just equal to someone else's holiday, that maybe other people have religions too. Oh boy, we can't have that. Boy, war on Christmas. Come on, Bill O'Reilly. Come on, all you culture warriors. Can't you give us something better than that? We're the big bad liberals. We're the big bad pinko commies. And that's the best we can do is ruin Christmas for you. Come on, you gotta try harder than that. Give me a call out here at the Talk Radio, at the Radical Russ Show. Let's talk about it. Especially you, one of those people, you get one of those war on Christmas people. Please give me a call. We'd love to talk about that. Hey, you know what? And I've got another idea about this. Why don't we just trade wars? We'll give you up the war on Christmas. We promise you can have your Christmas trees and your Christmas lights and all of that kind of stuff. And you trade us the war on drugs. How about that? How about we save about $50 billion that we're spending on this stupid war on drugs, and you can have the war on Christmas. How's that?
So there's the contest entry, and then as time went on, I ended up making my cute little commercials like this one for the new drug of choice. Not what I thought it was going to be.
Now's the time for Hypocrisol. Twice daily Hypocrisol applied liberally to the anus helps soothe the pain and itching caused by having your head firmly up your ass. Hypocrisol allows oxygen to reach your brain and feelings to reach your heart. Hypocrisol is not for everyone. Ask your doctor so long as he isn't Dr. James Dobson. Don't take if you're allergic to Truthamine, Factex, or Caritol, as severe cognitive dissonance may occur. Side effects may include electoral victories, progressive legislation, and fabulous haberdasheries so divine it's to die for, girlfriend. Ask your doctor about new twice daily Hypocrisol, because it's time to pull your head out.
Okay, so that was Hypocrisol ad, and then what I think is the greatest thing I ever made while I was working there. My senator, Larry Craig, was caught in an airport bathroom.
Thank you all very much for coming
This
out
is the
today.
song I wrote for him.
That's great.
A naughty boy.
Goodbye, everybody.
I think this
Take
is
care of each other, Toker.
I don't hit on any men. I don't go around anywhere hitting on men, and by God, if I did, I wouldn't do it in Boise, Idaho.
I tend to spread my legs when I lower my pants so they won't slide. Okay.
You're a naughty boy.
I don't do those things.
I'm not gay, and I don't cruise, and I